The player that we're talking about today is a pickleball genius. In fact, he's so good at pickleball that he makes his opponents feel like he's reading their mind because he tends to be 2 steps ahead of them, especially with his backhand counter ability. Some say that he's only good because he had a really good partner, and others say that he's good because he only had to cover 20% of the court. Despite all the hate, he still has the second most gold medals in men's doubles history. He frustrates his opponents with nearly perfect resetting ability, and he is widely known as the brick wall of pickleball. But most importantly, he has changed the way that pickleball will be played, probably forever, and is arguably the smartest player to have ever played the game. He doesn't let his opponents get into his head, and he doesn't let net cords bother him.
Stretch! Every time.
Okay, maybe that last part isn't true. You've probably guessed who I'm talking about by now, Colin Johns, the tactical genius of pickleball. And I've compiled a list of 5 specific things that he does to be the smartest player of all time. I'm Coach Austin Hardy, and if you're new here, this channel is all about how to get a tactical, technical, and strategic advantage on your opponents. If you're a longtime supporter, welcome back to the channel. I am super excited to have you here. In fact, 80% of the people that watch this channel aren't subscribed. So if you can take 10 seconds of your time, do me a favor, click that subscribe button. It would mean the absolute world to me, and it will make it so that I can make more videos just like this. And that is my promise to you guys, that if you subscribe and click that bell notification, you will improve your pickleball game. So thank you so much for the support. Let's open the playbook. First and foremost, Colin Johns is not the best pickleball player in the world, okay? He's obviously not better than his brother, and he's probably not even in the top 10. But that's not what this video is about. This video, in fact, is about the smartest player in pickleball, and he is arguably the biggest genius to have ever played the game. Colin Johns made his debut into pickleball back in 2019 at the US Open, where he played men's singles and made an impressive run all the way to the semifinals in his very first ever tournament. But his story starts way before that in a little town called Columbus, Ohio. He was born in 1993, and he's the oldest of 7 children. You might know his younger brother, Ben Johns. He's kind of a big deal in the pickleball world. Colin has played ping pong and all kinds of racket sports throughout his entire life. Starting at the age of 13, he picked up a tennis racket for the very first time, and he made it all the way to the top level. So he was 978 in men's singles, 939 in men's doubles. This might not seem very impressive, but for today's standards, if we compare that to pickleball, he would be within the top 100 if we were to compare them side by side, just because of how many people there are that play tennis in comparison to pickleball and how much longer tennis has been around professionally than pickleball has. He's actually ambidextrous, and in his tennis years, he would play with 2 forehands. So you could never find his backhand because he would hit a forehand on the right side and a forehand on the left side. So needless to say, he's a freak athlete, but more importantly, what's going on up here is what we're going to dissect, because that's ultimately what's led to so much of his success. So now that you know a little bit about the genius behind the genius, let's break down the 5 things that he does that makes him such a smart player out on the court. Number 1 is that Colin spends 99% of his time out on the court drilling. He does not play rec. It's very rare to ever see Colin Johns playing rec unless it's for like an exhibition or something like that. But this helps him to be able to really hone in his skills and only be practicing when he's out on the court. That way, when he gets out into a match, everything that he has now practiced is going to be 10 times better because he's getting so many more reps than the average player that's spending time playing rec play. When you're on the court drilling, you can hit the same shot 1,000 times within 30 minutes. Whereas within 30 minutes of playing in rec, you might hit that same shot 1, 2, maybe 5 times max. And so it's not really helping you to be able to get that practice. So part of his genius is the fact that he is very prepared for tournaments, and he knows that the best way to prepare is to get those reps in. Obviously, the best way to do that is going to be to get out and drill over and over and over again and not waste time with rec play. Now, what I'm not saying is that you should get out and you should drill 99% of the time. That would take the fun probably out of pickleball for you specifically, because not everybody that's watching this channel is trying to become pro. I'm sure some of you out there are, and if you are, I would recommend at least drilling 80% of the time. If you're not, spend some time drilling because it will improve your game. And when you get better at pickleball, it makes pickleball way more fun. The very best tool to improve your pickleball game is the Pickleball Drills app. It has hundreds of different drills uploaded by professional pickleball players. They'll walk you through instruction, tips, strategy to help you improve your pickleball game, all while you're getting those thousands upon thousands of reps with a friend, a wall, or a ball machine. So be sure to download the Pickleball Drills app. You can get 50% off your first month by clicking this link right here and using code Playbook at checkout. By the way, this video is brought to you by The Locker Room. Anything that you need pickleball related, whether that's balls, bags, or paddles, and shoes. They literally have it all, anything that you might need. And from all of the top brands like Yola, Selkirk, Gearbox, Carbon. They literally have any paddle that you want, and you can get 15% off with my code Playbook. I just barely picked up the new Perseus 4. By far my favorite paddle that I've ever played with. It's fantastic. Whatever they've done, it just makes sense. You can literally hit anywhere on the paddle is the sweet spot, including the frame. Since it's injected with some type of gel or foam, you hit the frame and the ball still goes in. So it's an absolutely fantastic paddle. I'm currently using the 16 millimeter. They also have the 14 millimeter. I found with the 14, it's a whole lot harder to control. My game definitely needs more control. I don't have problems generating a ton of power on the ball. So pick up this paddle, you can get it with The Locker Room, 15% off with code Playbook. You can click here. It's also in the description of this video. I'll also put it in the comment section, right at the top pinned comment. Be sure to check them out. Number 2 that Colin does that makes him a strategic genius is that he spends a significant amount of time watching tape of his opponents. So probably more than any other player, he watches tape of his opponents, and in fact, he also does it for his brother Ben. When he's playing in singles, he'll watch tape of other singles players and help him come up with a game plan. So what he'll be looking for is specific patterns that they're following. So maybe they like to hit to one corner of the court, or they like to hit a specific shot when they're in a specific position. And he'll also look for specific weaknesses. Maybe they suck at hitting a backhand at midcourt. So he'll try to get it to their backhand at midcourt. And then he'll talk to his partner, whoever he's playing with, and say, okay, I've watched this tape. This is the specific game plan, and these are the specific plays that we need to run for this specific match. He'll also look for things like which partner is better at dropping the ball, which partner is more consistent at dropping the ball, because obviously there's going to be one that's a little bit better at that. Which one's more comfortable getting attacked and which one's more uncomfortable. And then they'll focus all their attacks on that specific person. Number 3 is that Colin loves to run plays. He runs specific plays at the baseline and at the kitchen. At all times, he's always thinking about what's the optimal position to put the ball to get a pop-up for my opponent? What's the optimal position to put a ball in order to make my opponents feel uncomfortable? So I'll let him further explain that, but one of his specific plays that he likes to use is where he shifts towards the sideline, holds a backhand, and then counter punches the ball downwards at his opponent's feet. The problem with this play is that when he played with Ben, since Ben covers about 80% of the court, it would either be Ben's forehand in the middle or Colin's backhand. So it kind of made it so that Colin was unattackable down the line, and then the opponents had to figure something else out. But like I said, I'll let him further explain that play.
So from the very start, Ben's like, I want you to work on this shot where you slide to the right, you sit on your backhand, you know it's going to be a backhand, and just leave anything to your right. Because if you're far enough over, anything to the right side of your body is going to go wide. So there's really nowhere to go. And he developed that with his other partners as well. So like Anna Lee, he's been teaching her how to do that. It's just nice that she has like the nastiest two-hander on the planet.
Yeah, right.
So
seriously,
it's actually something I also learned from Simone, and not that she taught it to me. It's that when I was playing skinny singles with her and I would try to speed up at her, she would do the same slide with the two-hander. And I was like, that looks like a good shot. I'm going to try that. And I kind of combined that with the one-hander that Ben taught me. And of course, playing with Ben, you get a lot of opportunities to hit it. And it really just presents no open court to the opponent. If Ben keeps the dink low enough and they're trying to force a speed up, I've got my corner covered with all backhand. So good luck trying to get it through. And if you go middle, Ben's sitting there in the forehand. And the whole idea of that is designed to wind up to Ben's forehand, whether it's the first ball or the second ball.
Number 4 is that Colin is and will always be a major student of the game. So he's always looking for new ways to innovate the game and make it a better playing experience for everybody so that they can implement these strategies and win more points. And this is really because pickleball's in its infancy. There's still so many strategies that we haven't even heard about yet that will come to fruition as time goes on. And the reason that I say pickleball's in its infancy, it did start in 1965, but it really only took off back in about 2020 during COVID when we couldn't play any contact sports. And so you either had the choice of tennis or pickleball. And a lot of people chose pickleball. So the vast majority of players, probably you watching this video, came from 2020 or sometime in between 2020 and right now. And so obviously Colin knows this, and obviously you guys know this, that pickleball will continue to change. You always want to be a student of the game. That's going to improve your game the absolute most if you're just willing to learn and willing to be taught. Number 5 is that Colin was willing to niche down on a specific side of the court. So Colin exclusively plays on the right side of the court, which means that he gets a ton more practice on that side of the court than the other side of the court.
It should be said that everything about my doubles pickleball game in men's was designed to complement Ben from the very start. Because when I first started, Ben's like, obviously you're a really good tennis player, a great table tennis player. You have me, we're going to play together eventually. I need you to develop everything to complement me. And I was like, done. Like, I'll do that. Whatever you need, you tell me.
So when he goes to the other side of the court, he's not going to be as good, but that doesn't matter because he exclusively plays on the right side of the court. And so since he does this, he gets way more reps doing that. We actually recently had pro Travis Rettenmeyer on our podcast, and I'll let him talk about his controversial take to just exclusively playing on one side of the court.
I hate the fact that in this sport, you can be a right side specialist or a left side specialist. I think it slows down the evolution of players developing all skills. So, you know, the people reference tennis, well, you return on the right side and the left side in doubles. Yeah, but you still have to play both sides all the time. From the net, you have to move, you have to alter your position. I'm serving from the right side, I'm serving from the left side. Deuce court, ad court, however you want to describe it. And you have to have this abundance of skills to play every part of the court. Colin Johns is the perfect example of that. He is an unbelievable right side player. You put him on the left, he is pedestrian, relatively. That's unfair. That's stupid. And I think you should have to establish all of these skills to show that you're capable. So to me, the stacking thing should go away. I think you should have to play the right, the left, the right, the left, point by point. My opinion, that will never happen.
So as you saw, whether it's good or bad to just niche down, I think that it can be beneficial if you're completely willing to only play on that side exclusively. You're obviously going to become a better player by doing so, but it does definitely hurt you if you then need to play on the other side of the court. So be willing to niche down, be willing to shape your game around another player that might be better than you. And if you're one of those players out there that's watching this and you're trying to become a professional player, all of the pros say, practice the right side, because the pros that are already established in there are left side demons. Okay, they're already really, really good at the left side, and they need a right side bot, someone that's going to be really consistent on the right side and be able to help them score more points. That's everything for this video. In next week's video, I'm going to be breaking down 15 tips that Colin Johns gives to amateur pickleball players. You're not going to want to miss it, so make sure that you are subscribed. And if you want to learn how to dink like Colin Johns, he's arguably the best dinker in all of pickleball. Watch this video right here, and I'll see you over there. Peace.